border where the crisis is at its worst. That is in the Rio Grande Valley, a part of the border that is not as prominent with the wall in terms of the construction down there. And with Georgia Congressman Buddy Carter, he's heading down there with President Trump. Some of his Republican colleagues are as well, and Congressman Carter joins us tonight. Thank you for being here with us.
Thank you for having me. And by the way, I'm in the Rio Grande Valley sector of the border, which, as you just pointed out, is 800 miles from El Paso. We're in McAllen, Texas. This is the second time I've been down here this year, the fourth time I've been down here total since I've been a member of Congress. You know, it's just ridiculous that it took 93 days for Vice President Kamala Harris to go to the border after she had been named as czar. But then she goes to the wrong place. I mean, even the Democrats have admitted she went to the wrong place. She needs to be here. This is where it's happening at, right here in the Rio Grande Valley sector. This is where most of the problem is, and that's not where she showed up. And I would submit to you that she would not have even gone last week had it not been for the fact that President Trump will be here tomorrow with us, and that he'll be visiting.
It does make you wonder.
It does.
Congressman, I do want to ask you, you're going to be down there with the president. What do you hope that he sheds light on? Because the Biden administration has not been transparent with what is going on at our borders.
Well, you're absolutely correct. They have not been transparent, and the media has not been transparent. So my hope is that with President Trump coming down here, the media will finally find out and show the American people what is going on down here. Let's face it. Since she has been czar, since Kamala Harris has been in charge of this, we've had over 500 people cross this border illegally that we know of. Not only that, but we had more people in the month of May cross this border than any other month in the last 21 years, 180,000. We had enough fentanyl in the last 4 months, the first 4 months of the year, to come across this border to kill every American 4 times over. And of those people sitting at home, if you think that that is not impacting you, you think it's, oh, that's a border problem, that's not my problem, wrong. Every state is a border state now. And every community is being impacted by illegal drugs. This is a humanitarian crisis. It's also a national security crisis.
And Congressman, South Dakota just announced it's joining Republican-led states in sending the National Guard to the southern border. Do you think your state of Georgia will follow suit?
Yes, and we have. We have sent troops down here, and almost all the states that have Republican leadership have recognized the need for this and have sent troops down here, National Guard troops, and Georgia has done that as well. And I applaud Governor Noem in South Dakota for what she's doing, and all the other governors who recognize that, you know, the way to handle this is to stop it at the beginning, not wait until the drugs get there, not wait until the illegals get to there, but instead to close our border and to make sure we have a secure border. That's what Donald Trump did. And that's why the Democrats, that's why this administration is doing just the opposite, because they're going to do the opposite of what Donald Trump did. That's all they are intent on doing. They stopped construction of the wall. They stopped the stay in Mexico policy, all because those were implemented by Donald Trump.
I do want to ask you about your colleague across the aisle, a member of the squad, Congresswoman Ilhan Omar. She says that all illegal immigrants need a path to citizenship immediately because, quote, immigrants get the job done. Okay, this is once again, Democrats are changing the narrative to make it seem like Republicans are against immigration. But Congressman, I think we both know that Republicans are not against immigration. They're pro-legal immigration. Do you think that Republicans are getting ahead of this message war enough and doing enough on that side of it to make sure that the legal aspect of this it continues forward?
We have been clear and concise all along that, yes, we believe in immigration and we want people to come to this country, but we want them to come legally. We want them to come here and to make sure that they are doing it the right way. You know, if you want to talk to someone who gets upset about illegal immigrants, talk to someone who came through the system legally. Now, they get fired up about it. They are upset that these other people are coming in without doing the same things that they had to do. They love this country. People who have come here and become citizens of our country, they love this country and they love what we have to offer here. But I don't know where Omar's coming from. I tell you, I think she's serving in a different Congress from what I'm serving in. I don't know. Her ideas are just way, way out there.
And Congressman, just last week, Biden's Department of Justice announced a lawsuit against your state's Election Integrity Act. And yesterday, the president met with Democrats to discuss ways to combat what they're calling anti-voter legislation. Is Georgia's Election Integrity Act in jeopardy?
No. In fact, I think this is going to backfire on the Democrats. I think it's going to be upheld. They'll drag it out as long as they can so that they can say, oh, we've got a lawsuit against them. It's in court right now. But the truth is, and everybody understands it, is that the Election Integrity Act that was enacted by the state legislature, as our Constitution calls for them to do, that made voting easier and cheating harder. And now the Biden administration is doing nothing more than weaponizing the Department of Justice, making them a weapon that they can use to try to go after Georgia's Election Integrity Act. If the Biden administration were truly concerned about voter integrity, they'd go after other states like New York, like Delaware, and like New Jersey, who have more restrictive voting regulations and rules than we do in the state of Georgia. This is simply ridiculous. This is nothing but politics. This is why Joe Biden got 4 Pinocchios. And what we see happening here is the Biden administration, Joe Biden, Stacey Abrams, Raphael Warnock, all the socialist liberal Democrats coming together trying to prove that Georgia has done something wrong. What Georgia did was to make voting easier and cheating harder, something that 75% of all voters in the state of Georgia said they wanted: better voter integrity, better election integrity. 60% of all Democrats said they wanted it. 69% of all African Americans said we want more voter integrity in the state of Georgia. And the state legislature did that, and I applaud them for that.
Absolutely. Hopefully, we have to continue to get the word out that this is not voter suppression. This is for voting and getting more people access to voting who are legal voters. Congressman, great to see you. Thanks for being here. We'll have to check back in with you with this visit to the border. Thanks for shedding light on what's happening down there with former President Trump.
Thank you.